Greetings! King Wolfe here, and welcome to another unusual, bizarre book review featuring Stephen King's body of work in no particular order. Today we will travel through time 4 centuries in the past to a little kingdom called Delane, the setting of Stephen King's Eyes of the Dragon. This was first published in 1984 in a limited edition, and then Viking mass-produced it on February 2nd, 1987. This baby clocks in at a very fast-paced 326 pages. Now, before we get into this thing, if you haven't read it, then you might think you have Stephen King on one hand and a fantasy novel on the other hand. Put the two together, and you should get a kick-ass fantasy novel that rivals George Martin's Game of Thrones. In that train of thought, you would be sadly mistaken. What this book actually is a YA fantasy novel geared toward a younger audience, those under 15 years of age, I'd venture to say. Because back in the early 80s, Stephen's daughter, Naomi, wanted her father to write something non-horror-ish, something that she might actually enjoy, and this was the result. So this story revolves around 4 central characters: King Roland, his eldest son Peter, his other son Thomas, and of course an evil magician named Flag. What does Flag sound like? Why, allow me to demonstrate.
He means to escape, he muttered, running his hands through his hair. He means to try anyway. But how? How? What's his plan? Who helped him? He'll pay with their heads, I promise that. And they won't come off all in one chunk. No, they'll come off an inch. A half inch. A quarter inch at a time. They'll be driven insane with the agony long before they die.
Flag wants to rule the kingdom, but since he isn't a member of the royal family, he has to rule from the right hand of someone who is easily manipulated. And that attribute would fall to the young Prince Thomas. Flag uses dragon sand to poison King Roland while framing Prince Peter for the assassination. All the while, Thomas looks on from the eyes of the dragon, imprisoned 300 feet in the air in a tower called the Needle. Prince Peter must devise a plan of escape and prove his innocence. There are mixed reviews on this method of escape, namely the practicality of it. It begs one to wonder if King put much thought at all, as if he was merely trying to hurry the project along. As to the fairy tale side of it, it works like the tale of Rapunzel with her long hair. Peter uses threads from royal napkins from each meal to weave a rope that he hopes is strong and long enough. It takes him 5 years to construct this rope, but does it work? Based off this picture in the book, I think not. But since not too many fans have read this novel from 1987, I'll not spoil it. This novel has turned This novel has not been turned into a movie as of yet, but I think it would make an excellent animation. Just like Jim Carrey's A Christmas Carol, which was done as a 3D animated motion capture. But if you keep in mind that this is a fairy tale written for teenagers, then perhaps you'd be apt to judge it fairly. Say a 7 or an 8 out of 10. I have given it a 7. So until next time, when we travel to the western shores of Florida, to a little place called Duma Key, I will return king out.